I have some wonderful friends that have volunteered to help me. The husband has come over today and he's helping me get this four-wheeler in shape to sell. This is a four-wheeler we've had since I think 2015, and it's in perfect condition really. The seat just popped off of it right now because we had to get to parts of the four-wheeler, but it's in perfect condition. It's just tootled around our property and went up and down our gravel road. It's never been mud riding. It's never been on tough terrain. It's in great shape, but we just don't need it anymore. And my husband always took it in for annual services, even if nothing seemed wrong with it. And that's where it was the week that he had his stroke. So the people called me actually while my husband was still down in New Orleans in the hospital to tell me that the four-wheeler was ready. So I got my son to go pick it up and pay for it and bring it home. And we put it in our shed where my tractor is stored. And there it has sat since the end of January of 2021. Well, one of the tires went flat on it. And I knew it, but there just wasn't a whole lot I wanted to do about it right now. Nobody was riding this thing. And so I just let it sit. Then one day I said, you know what, let me pull it out, see if I can wash it, air that tire up, and kind of get it ready to sell, because we just knew we weren't going to be using it anymore. We just weren't. And it wouldn't start. Of course, the battery had been sitting there for over a year and had went dead. So Steve's here today just to help me see what's wrong and fix it, and so that I can get it ready to put it on the market. So he took the tire off and he's taking it right now to get it fixed.
Yeah, so I was going to give you the choice. We can either put the tire goo in there, or the other thing is you have to bring it to a tire shop, let them dismount it, clean it, and then remount it.
What was wrong with the tire was around the edge of the rim, it had just gotten some rocks and debris in it somehow, and it was slowly leaking. The tire itself was fine, and the rim wasn't dented or anything. So he recommended that instead of using any type of fix-a-flat, to just take it to a tire place and let them fix it. And he actually ran it to one in a nearby town for me, and they fixed it while he waited and didn't even charge us. So that helped out a lot. I'll be honest with you all, this is the first time in my life I've ever dealt with really changing a battery. I've went and bought batteries. I've watched my husband do things. I've watched people jump off my car or other things around our house, but I've never just been involved in reading the amps on a battery. That might sound strange to a man, but I've never done it myself. I've never went into the Napa place and discussed all that with someone. I had to get a battery that was the exact same size because there's just a little slot that it'll fit in this four-wheeler, and you had to get the right size battery or it just wasn't going to work when I got back home. So I handled that and then came back here, and now I've watched Steve put the acid in it. Has it got little separate cores in there?
Yeah, each one of them has a separate cell.
I didn't get credit for that battery I brought back because he said it didn't have a core.
Oh, it didn't have a core.
Anyway,
okay.
I trusted him.
Right.
They're real good at that Napa place, but I just wanted to make sure you...
So you see you got a lower and upper fill line. It tells you to fill it to the upper fill line. Now you see how it's starting to bubble? So I'm going to have to come back and top it off because it'll go down some more.
Okay. So it bubbles and settles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How's that look on the front side, Laney? Can you tell?
Yeah, it's still bubbling on the end.
Okay.
Let me see. The first 3 or 4 look really good.
Okay.
The last 2 are still bubbly, but they look pretty good. That last one may could take just a skosh, but not much.
Just a little bit more on that last one. Right.
I mean, just compared to the other ones, it's kind of technically to the line. Yeah. Well, I've learned in the little book there about how long you let it sit, how long you have to charge it. Yeah. Oh.
We're going to set it on the charger on 2 amps.
You said that's the lowest your charger goes,
Yeah,
is
this
2
is
amps.
a 2 amp, 10 amp, and a 50 amp boost. So it said 2 amp was acceptable, so we're gonna go with that. caps loose while it charges.
Leave the caps loose, okay.
Mhm.
Why is that?
Well, they actually produce hydrogen gas batteries when you charge them. So
you're kind of burping them then
Yep.
while it's okay.
there is a vent on the side, right? Oh, right here. It came with a little red cap. This is the battery vent. So all batteries have to be vented to let the excess gas off.
Okay.
But it suggested leave the caps loose as well when you're charging it initially. Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to watch him put it back in the four-wheeler. Now we're selling the four-wheeler, so I'm not necessarily going to need to know this forever, but I still want to know it. I might get other things that need batteries. I might have to deal with my car one day all by myself, and I want to know what to do and how to handle it, and I want to feel a little confident. I think every skill that you can learn, no matter what it is, you need to learn it. Anything, it doesn't matter who's coming to your house to repair something, kind of shag along with them and see what they're doing, talk to them about it. Instead of just cutting a check and letting them go, try to find out what they're doing and help out if you can and be involved. And that's what I'm doing today, because I appreciate Steve coming and helping me with this. I couldn't have done it by myself, and it's given me some confidence. And it's given me confidence to maybe get over here and start looking at the tractor. And I need to change that oil filter in the tractor. I need to blow out and change the air filter, and just start that cleaning process, which also involves on the tractor oiling all the little points that need to be oiled and doing maintenance on it. So I'm learning. I'm trying to get things done and getting a little more confidence along the way. But I just wanted to emphasize that I can't do all this by myself. And I want to tell all the people out there who have relied on a spouse to do most of this kind of thing, you need to learn how to do it. Because not only will it maybe save you money in the long run if you know how to do something, but it could also save you money by not being taken. Or even if you're not being taken per se financially, when you get to an auto parts store, most of them do know what they're talking about and they do know what they're doing, but not everybody. And they might try to sell you something that's not going to work. Today, I was emphatic. I was shown a battery that was a little bit shorter than this one. I was shown a battery that was a little bit taller than this one. And I had to tell the guy, I need that battery. I need it that size because it goes in a certain slot in that four-wheeler. And I was told to get this size battery, and I'm not walking out of here with anything else. And guess what? That battery popped up. He just opened one more box, and there it was. So the more you know and the more you learn, the more you can not come home and waste your time and your gas and having to go back and be just put on a gerbil wheel. You can kind of know and you can control the situation.
We've lost one of the nuts.
Yeah.
All four of them were up there.
Oh gosh. Oh, there it is. I see it.
Okay.
Right here. Here you go. Put it right there. Okay, battery done, tire done. Now all I have to do is wash it and give it a really good cleaning, armor all the seat, and get it on the market. Another thing that I needed help with is rehoming my dogs, or my son's dogs rather, until we can list and sell the house. So my son, and then last night his friend came and helped him, and they finished building a little dog house, dog cage, I guess you would call it, dog pen, to move the dogs to, so that we can get them off of my back porch, which has been their Shangri-La for the last 7 years. We screened in our back porch, put plywood around the edge, and made it secure for them. And they have slept on my porch and lived on my porch and had it made for the last 7 years. I have not been able to enjoy my back porch that looked out on the lake and just sit out there and eat or do anything, because pretty much that's been their home. But for the next few months, this is going to be their home. And they got it finished last night. I couldn't have got it done without them. My son formed up the little slab pad, poured it. He and his friend poured it. Then he came back later and built it. We really just need this to be a place to rehome them while we list the house, go under contract hopefully, and get it to closing. And then whomever moves here can either tear this down or just use it in whatever the way they want to. So, but anyway, for now, it got done, and it got done with help from my son and from his friend, and I do so appreciate it. I'm just thoroughly thankful for all the help I've been getting. Well, I started the day with Steve helping me with the four-wheeler, and I'm finishing the day with the porch job done. I started helping Clay before I left. I took down a screen door. I started pulling off little boards and some of the panels, and we had to stop. Richard and I had to get in the car to take our granddaughter back home. She was meeting her mom, and they had an appointment somewhere. Weren't going to be gone an hour total, the whole trip. Well, halfway back, our friend calls and says, he's finished, he's done, he's heading home. I'm like, what? I told him, I said, I was going to come back and film. This was part of my video. And I'm like, what's wrong with this work ethic of people these days? I mean, you want them to work slow so you can come back and film? And he just was, I'm going to rip and run and get her done. So I don't have anything to film as far as him working, and he's not here anymore. But I'll show you the panels laying out in the yard, and that'll kind of show you what used to be on my porch, because he kind of pulled them off in sections. We had all that on our porch simply for our dogs. It was never the plan when we built this house to have our porch house the dogs, but we ended up doing it just because we didn't ever end up pouring a big slab to make another dog pen on. And we do have a lot of coyotes in this area. We live kind of near a river, and we're getting thunder. Don't worry, it's not gonna rain. Hadn't rained for 3 weeks. I've seen more lightning and thunder than I know what to do with the last 3 weeks, but we hadn't got a drop here at our house, so I'm not even worried about that. But we have a lot of coyotes that are along the river bottoms. We can sit outside at night and hear them, and we kind of just always felt better having the dogs close to our house. And we kind of did it in such a way, not just to keep them in the porch, but to make sure nothing could get at them at night. Anyway, sometimes things start and they don't ever change. So that's what happened. Let me show you a little bit of this, and I'll tell you the plan. Okay, this is our back porch, and these are cypress 8x8 posts that are all along our porch. And for the last 7 years, they've had these big panels. Now the outside edge, the 2x4s all around the edge, and this 2x4 in the middle, those were put up by our builder, and so that he could put some screening on our porch. But the minute we got the puppies, they ran through that screening in about 30 seconds. And we realized real quick they weren't going to be able to stay on our porch with just that screen. So then we put up some plywood on them, some more chicken wire, because the plywood, though it's 4 foot tall, the dogs grew so quick that they were able to get higher than that and bust out the screening. So we had to put some chicken wire in this little part here, and then we had to get better screening to go on the outside that they couldn't quite poke through so easy. So Clay pulled out all the panels that were between all these sections, and they're right there. I had told him, don't worry about burning them or disposing of them, that I would take care of that. And what I'm going to do is probably just hook them up and take them with the four-wheeler and just drag them way across our property over there, way over there. We have a burn pile. So I'm going to probably take them over there one at a time, pile them up. And when we do get some rain, I will, the very next day or so, get out there and burn them. Don't want to burn anything right now because everything here is so dry. It's terrible. But then I have to turn around and get this porch back in shape. The dogs have been out here for so long that I just basically ignored it. Once we kind of weren't able to just use it for recreation and to sit on, not gonna lie, I just let her rip, let her go. So I'm gonna get out here. We're gonna pressure wash it. I've got these little sections of the cypress where the 2x4s were. I guess the builders just built the frame and then they stained, which makes sense, but it means that there's no stain under that. So I need to get a gallon of the stain. I've already bought the khaki colored paint for the back of the porch, which once we pressure wash, I'm really just gonna be touching up here and there. I'm not gonna have to paint this whole back of the porch, I don't believe. So that's what I need to do. That's my job. And there again, I couldn't have done this without some help today. Yes, I can tear out boards. You know, yes, I can use a crowbar. Yes, I can do it. But the time factor is what gets me. This took Clay an hour. He is a strong person. He works all the time. He does a lot of projects. He lifts a lot of things. And he could just get it done. I would have been fighting with this out here. I would have been in tears. I probably wouldn't have been strong enough to tear it out in sections like this. I probably would have done it board by board, and it would have probably took me hours just because of needing the strength to deal with this big section. And it would have just taken me forever. And then I would have had to turn around and be the one to do the painting and the pressure washing and different things. So I'm so glad he helped me. Another friend came to our rescue. Another friend helped us get this done, and I just appreciate it. So that's what this video is just dedicated to, the good people that have stepped up and helped us, and I appreciate it so much. I cannot do it alone, I admit that, and I'm humbly thankful for everybody that has helped us. I don't know if you can see the sweeping rain over here. Not at our house, it's way over yonder, but right there is a rainbow. I don't know if you can see the rainbow really well, but it's pretty and it's there. This is Lainey from Camp Joy Farms. Thank you for joining me today. Please like and subscribe if you will. I'd appreciate it. I will keep you updated on all the little projects that we're doing to get the house ready to sell. And I look forward to being able to take you up to our new place at some point and show you around. We're having some tree trimming done here shortly once we reach closing. We were supposed to close yesterday, and it didn't happen because they were taking a while to get the abstract done. They were supposed to call me yesterday to let me know if it would be Thursday or Friday. This is Thursday evening. It's about 6 o'clock Thursday evening, and I haven't heard a thing. So I don't know if we're closing tomorrow. I don't know if there's problems with any kind of abstract or ownership. I really don't know what's going on. It's in God's hands. And if there's any problems, I just hope it can be fixed. We really have fallen in love with that place. And sometimes when things seem simple, they never are. So I just kind of hope it all works out. I hope it will. We will know probably by the time this video comes up. Maybe we'll know something. Hopefully, you know, we're ready to go. If they call us tomorrow morning and say close tomorrow afternoon, we're ready to go. So I will keep you posted. Thank you so much. Y'all have a great evening. Bye-bye.